Yo, what's good, my peeps? It's your boy DK, aka Smooth the Kid, aka Legal Trappers, coming at y'all live in effect on this glorious Tuesday morning, last day of the first month of the new year. I hope you got off to a wonderful start to your goals, to your mission, to your dreams. Whatever it is that drives you to get out that bed, I hope you get into it, starting your year off right. And even if you didn't start your year off right, off to a good start, it's okay. It's a new month. The Lord said the same. We get to see a new day. Start right now. No excuses. Put that pen and paper. Write them goals down, man. Each step, yo. We ain't gotta conquer everything at one time. Step by step by step, my people. Discipline is key. Discipline is key. So I hope and I'm thankful for all y'all who may watch this video, who may learn something from this video. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. But we got to get into it, man. We got to hop straight into it today. Well, this week we got some crazy news, man. We got a lot of news that not just going to kind of shape how this year could start off, but as very well as how it may end going into later on in the year. But this first major news that we're going to talk about is key. Is key to what we're going to experience in our everyday lives, the day-to-day things that we need to operate in our lives. That is going to be a very, very key decision that's going to be made this week from different players in this game, the central banks, the feds, the ones who actually controls the interest rates on a more broader scale. And I'm sure, as you already know, inflation is crazy high. Everything is crazy high, and it could very well get higher. The dollar is kind of slipping, so with the dollar slipping, losing its purchasing power, that affects us. That affects the consumer. That affects the everyday worker. That affects the banking system when we lose a certain purchasing power, along with the Fed raising interest rates, because that is what we're pointing to. We're still trying to, in a sense, slow the economy down, right? Trying to cool off this market that's just been going crazy. But in the short term effects, we're losing our purchasing power with all of this inflation, with the raising of interest rates and things of that nature. So what we have to understand and what we need to understand is everything in this game, when it comes to investing, when it comes to trading, is sort of like a seesaw. What goes up must come down. There's a winner, there's a loser, there's a buyer, there's a seller, there's a pro, there's a con. Well, what do you mean by that, DK? What I mean by that is something has to be paired against one another in order for anything to work, right? Just like sports. You have to, or just a simple business transaction. You can't have a transaction with yourself. You have to be having this. It has to be one, two, or more parties involved to complete a transaction. Whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether you just overall swapping resources, without no, per se monetary value, no dollar is being exchanged, but you're exchanging rice for corn. You know what I'm saying? So understanding the markets from that perspective. And when we get to talking about interest rates, when we get to talking about the Fed decision that they're going to make, all of this will make more sense. So the first thing, you already know that we have to focus on what runs those candlesticks that I was just showing in my background is news. what's actually going on in our respective economy. Understand that the dollar is the guru. Nothing moving without this dollar. But you also have major developed countries who are very key to our existence and vice versa when it comes to certain things that we consume on a daily, things that we need or things that we want in our Americanized life. So when we have these certain news that comes out, it don't just affect our economy, it affects the world for many different reasons. When you talk about capitalism, who is at the forefront of capitalism? It's going to be us. But there are other countries that are not far behind. Every just about every country practice capitalism. And with capitalism comes major trades, made in major international trade. So when you have these international transactions going on, there has to be a perceived value on this country's currency versus another country's currency. Now, what makes up how valuable a country's currency is many different things. We can't address all of that in one. It's a lot of different categories. But to break it down in a lame term, we're gonna say basically it's just the overall health of the economy. Is the economy growing? GDP is GDP growing? Is the GDP shrinking? Is the GDP stagnant? All of that tells the world, not just your citizens, but the world, how well or how poor that country currency or that country's economy is performing. And in that realm comes the value system, which they use different. Each country use different points, right? I guess you could say different numbers. Our number right there says 102, and if I go, let's say, what is this? New Zealand dollar, right? Or I'm gonna go CAD. If you go to USD CAD, they number says 1.3340. So everybody number system, but the overall perspective, the overall objective is the same. That seesaw effect or that scale of economies is very much pertinent. What one country economy goes up, you know, if this country's, or I ain't even gonna say their economy per se, but let's say the value of the US dollar goes up for whatever reason. Let's say we decide to, let's say we're growing, right? Our unemployment is going down. We're the consumers, we're spending money. Consumers, we're borrowing money at low interest rates, and we have consumer confidence up. All of these things affects how overall our economy is doing. But when you have a respective developed country economy paired against the U.S. dollar, right? If the U.S. dollar, in most cases, if it's going bullish, we're thriving, then that per se country's currency that's paired directly against ours, their respective country currency or value per se goes down. And that reason is not just because like that reason. Like, why? I know you probably ask, like, what does that matter if our economy is doing good and their economy is doing good? How can our economy trumps theirs? And that goes back to the economic scale that we're using when it comes to the point system, when it comes to the exchange rate, the foreign exchange rate between different countries, and how that is, in a sense, from my experience, in my own terms, in my opinion, how that is, in a sense, weighed out is like, basically, let's take for instance, right? You have the U.S. dollar, and we're gonna use USD CAD. Let's say you have the U.S. dollar and the Canadian dollar, right? Right now, for instance, if you go to USD CAD, we're just gonna go on an intraday type of talk, right? And you can see right now, this candle that's a very heavy candle. Anybody, if you know what you're looking at, this is a very heavy candle. Red means bearish, which means the market is going down. Blue means the market is going up when you see it trending up, right? So over the last 8 hours, this is 4 hour candles, right? This last candle was 4 hours. Here's 4 hour. Well, we still got 2 hours left in this candle, but this candle is heavily selling. This says US dollar / Canadian dollar. So these two respective country currencies are paired against one another, right? So what that's going to tell me is basically it's just like a competition. You know what I'm saying? Really, it's basically capitalism. Who can control the other one? Who has the most power, control whatever resources that we trying to get off. So in this sense, you have USD versus Canadian dollar. With the United States dollar losing its purchasing power, right? For instance, we've been losing our purchasing power, or well, we're gonna say the dollar has been going down. We're just gonna say that the dollar has been going down since November. We'll say November 2022 came down here. We just start from here, went down, pulled back, and then we still trending down, right? All right, this is USD CAD. And I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna get to my point. This is the dollar, right? You see about U.S. dollar currency index. This is just it tracks the value of the dollar 24. As long as the market open 24 hours, 5 days a week, it's just doing nothing but telling you the value of the dollar. It ain't against nothing. This is just the core tracking device, if you will, for the U.S. dollar. And you can see from this around this same point, November 2022, right? The DXY has been going down. So you see a direct correlation between the dollar and per se the USD CAD, which is in turn the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. So as we lose value overall, the dollar itself, it loses value as well against the respective country currency there. What's happening is we're losing number value, right? That number value equates to it's minimum, but it's on a larger scale. It's a lot. That small scale, right? Because we're competing. So if the US dollar, right, is trading at 102, let's say for every $100 I get $99 in Canadian dollars, right? So let's say this is doing our economy is doing well. You know what I'm saying? So we're trending, our numbers is going up. Let's say let's say for whatever reason we have bad unemployment news come out on the US dollar and the dollar starts to shrink, like sort of like what I'm showing you right now from November. You start the value of our overall dollar, right? It just starts to on a point scale, it starts to fall off. Our unemployment numbers are up. Inflation numbers is still up. The consumer companies, whatever the case may be, right? So you have our value falling. Look, if you pay attention, right, it's going to basically explain it to you, huh? Right here, you have this number right here, 11.3.207 at this point. You come all the way down here to this area, it says what? 105. So if you just basically can do basic arithmetic, you don't necessarily have to be directly on point with the numbers. Just pay attention to the overall numbers, which it says 1.3. You went from 1.3 to 105. If you was just gonna subtract that, that's 8. It's like we'll just say that's $8. If you was gonna subtract it in a dollar scale, that $8 drop off is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, like I just said, we was getting 99 for $100. For 100 US dollars, we was getting 99 Canadian dollars. Well, now with this $8.8 swing to the downside, We no longer we are now getting $91 for every $100. Just off the muscle, you like, well, that ain't a lot. It is when if I'm a company in America, right? Let's say I'm Procter and Gamble, and I order um shit, I ordered 5,000 candles. Not candles, but yeah, we just say candles. Shit, Procter and Gamble probably sell candles too, I'm sure. Let's say I ordered 5,000 candles, right? And just a month ago, I was paying per unit. I was paying shit $1 per unit for these candles. Well, $1 per unit. I ordered 5,000 units. You do the math, right? Well, now I'm no longer paying $1 for the same candles, same size. Is now $1, and it's now $1, and well, we ain't gonna say $8 now. We're gonna say it's $1.08. Just that 8 cents difference times that same eight, that 8 cents times that by 5,000, and you will catch my drift on how important these exchange rates are when it comes to international trade, especially on a national, on an international scale. So you got to think about it, right? We buy and purchase from these large time companies. 5,000 units is that's small business numbers, right? So think about that on a mega, you know what I'm saying, a mega ton type of mindset where they ordering shit 1,000,000 units, right? 1,000,000 units, and I'm paying a 8 cents difference from last month per unit, bro. That's a lot. So if I'm over here in America, right, and I was paying shit, um, I was paying for a 4 pack of tissue. I was paying with tax $2.85. Well, now with this 8 point swing over the last couple of weeks, next time Dollar General go and make their shipment, now I'm paying $3.85. You catch my drift? It is a ripple effect from the top all the way down to the bottom. If we can, as a retail trader, right, if we can understand that, if we can predict and study these numbers, we can put ourselves in powerful positions to make money piece by piece. Are we going to make it all in one whop? No. But can we make it step by step, day by day, week by week, month by month, by knowing and understanding how the currency game affects everything from how we going to purchase certain things in the store all the way down to stocks and cryptos. Once we have that key understanding, you will understand how valuable understanding the dollar influence in the world is, because everything else right now, because we are the safe haven currency of the world as of now. Everything in this world reacts directly or indirectly to this dollar right here. So when we get on here, that's what we already know. We have to, I have to discuss this with y'all, but so you can have an understanding. I can go over these charts. I can run shit. I can show you what the business is on these charts in several ways: wave strategy, zones, smart money, trend lines. However you want me to cut this market up, I can cut it up. But it still, wouldn't do justice with me just cutting the market up, just charts, because charts is just one part of the game. It's not an end all game. These charts are, you know, it's a reaction of what's going on in the economy. Without what's going on in the economy, without an overall picture of who's who, these charts, these candlesticks don't matter. That's just like a extra piece of help for you to be able to visually see what's the reaction to what's in black and white, what you can't see. You can't see everybody that's, you know, struggling, trying to make ends meet, but you can see it in the numbers, when the stats that come out, and those are the numbers that we tend to use to make our sound judgment on certain investment that we're going to put our money in over time. So that's key to me. That's key. Understanding that right there, what I just talked about is that right there alone, just understanding the value system. Understand that first, fundamentals. Why the dollar is the safe haven currency of the world. Who benefits from the dollar being the safe haven of the world? Who benefits when the dollar is high in value? Who benefits when the dollar is low in value? Understanding the key questions like that is first and foremost before you can get to this point where we go to Bloomberg and you get to see them talk their lingo. You get to see how they basically moving their money around and sending out these gossip, these rumors, and you seeing people like this guy right here take his L's, losing $11 billion in 3 days. That's crazy, yo. So it is like, you know, we have to understand where we at on the chessboard. Ain't nothing, we are who we are. Once we understand where we are on the chessboard, now we can move like some smart pawns on the chessboard. We don't want to get chased out the game until if and or whenever or until we get chased out the game. We want to be in the position to be able to control our own destiny. Once we do get out of the game, boom, we cool. Everybody around us cool. Family straight, we straight. Move on to something else. You know what I'm saying? So that's key here at League of Choppers, man. And that'd be my first and foremost thing we got to talk about is that dollar. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of news. Like I say, we waiting on this week. I need us to just really focus on this right here, man. The federal funds rate, the commission. This news right here is gonna be. I feel like sets a precedent for going into the rest of the year. I really feel like the Fed wants to get to a 5% interest rate. That I feel like that's been their goal ever since last year, and we just been getting there slowly. You have some gurus calling for them to actually drop but I don't see that. That's definitely, it needs to happen for us as consumers. So some of these stuff can go, some of these products can go down in price. Some of these interest rates can drop back down because, a lot of people, including myself, we all taking hits with these variable interest rates, man. Things, credit cards go up, that same minimum payment no longer covers, what it was covering now. More interest than it's not going to the cap. I mean, to the it's not going to the balance. There's more interest being taken out now. So everybody is feeling the effects of these high interest rates. I want to see them come down too, but whatever reason that they playing above our heads, to make them keep raising the interest rates. It is what it is. We just want to be aware so we can be prepared, so we don't make those impulse purchases that could put us in a hole that can set us back because we trying to look like XYZ on Instagram. But you don't even understand. XYZ on Instagram scamming. XYZ over here, got a little hustle. He's selling woo on the side. You know what I'm saying? You can't compete with that if you a straight up and down 9 to 5 worker. You feel me? So you have to make smart decisions and being aware of, damn, man, they finna come out. Let's see how this gonna play out first, or this play out like this. Man, we're gonna dump a thou wow over here in these joint. We're gonna let it sit right here and let it grow for the year. You put a thou wow right here and let it it got turn into 4 or 5 bands by the end of the year just by putting that thou wow right there because of the decision that the Fed had made. That's them the type of decision that we're here to make, man. But first and foremost, we have to see and be aware of what's coming out in the news that's going to affect our everyday lives. And these type of news facts right here, you can find us at forestfactory.com. Free. You ain't got to sign up, subscribe, none of that. Just to be privy of what's going on, every week writing down these topics right here and studying them every week, every month. Just watch it, click on and read it and see what the numbers are. You'll start to build you'll start to build that habit of researching or trying to find out, man, what's really going on out here. You ain't got to worry about what CNN, Fox, what they report. Do your own study, do your own due diligence. So that's what we waiting on, man. I'm waiting on this fund rate, man. This could be possibly be a fun week. We definitely finna see a lot of liquidity in the markets. That's for sure. But we're gonna lock and load in on this funds rate, man, tomorrow evening. I'm probably gonna do an update around probably like Friday. Probably do an end of the week jump. We'll talk about this, and I lay something down for us to go forward. How I feel like where we can put our money at and invest and make us some cash while all of this is going on over this week and the next coming weeks as well. So y'all stay locked in, stay tuned in, man. For real, we're gonna get it in this year, man. We're gonna watch our accounts grow. We're gonna get to this bag, and we're gonna stay disciplined as well. We're gonna have some fun this year too, man. Lord say the same. Bless we all get to see it each and every day. We're gonna have some fun, man, this year for real. You know what I'm saying? So thank y'all for tuning in, man. Lock and load. Get out there, man. Be safe. It's your boy DK, man. Checking out.